gonna give our plants some water, but it looks like they're doing pretty good. Watered this bed last night and she looks pretty damp still, so guess we'll let her be for the time being. Ha! Caught our soaker system in the act. Looks like all our potatoes are sprouting, which is pretty exciting. Is today the day?
Yeah. You ready to start making a roof?
Heck yeah.
Pretty excited. I'm hoping that pretty quick here we'll be able to team up on the roof. If we're not there today, it'll be promptly. We got to get this roof done because there's a lot of food that's coming at us.
Yeah, we need to be done.
Here in a second, our garden's going to be pumping food out and we're going to be up here doing a roof and it's all going to go to rot. So let's not do that. Plus, it's a little cooler today. Maybe that's just karma because we got up way too freaking early.
We got up really early, long enough to have 2 cups of coffee, breakfast, have a little morning chat.
Yeah.
And it's still early.
And it's only 7.
But we didn't get much sleep either.
We're going to thank ourselves, I think, for the next week and a half or so because they're forecasting 90 degrees, which means here,
100.
Hundies, Benjamins. Yeah, so now the goal is to basically get all of these furring strips and then the ones that we made ourselves, and all the hardware, and all the foaming, and all the spline screws. That's all. We did schedule our south gable windows to be installed on Friday. That would be like 4-ish days away. We're not quite ready for those. They're going to deliver all the windows and the French doors the same time. So we do have some work to do on that stuff, but right now we're going to try to just focus on getting basically the entire roof structure built. Because once we get ice and water shield up there, we're basically dried in. We would need to just add the metal roofing after that. We want to get that entire thing built so that we can measure its actual dimensions so we can place our order for metal roofing. We have not done that yet. We've done all the quoting, we've got the product selected, who we're going to buy it from. We just need to pull the trigger on it. And the recommendation of that retailer was, don't order your roof until you can physically put a tape measure on it. We had talked about ordering it when we ordered the SIPs, that way it'll be here on the ground, blah, blah, blah. And they said it's really hard to stretch metal. We recommend you wait, measure, then order. You'll thank us later. I will never understand why it's either 100 degrees or raining. Is this what it's always like, guys? I mean, always? Like, we cannot understand. Yesterday, the roof was so hot, touching it with my bare hands burned my hands. That's how hot it was. The washers for the lags were scalding. Duh, right? Why?
Webster. Webster. Good morning. Good morning. Look-a-boo. There's a forklift running like 20 feet from you. You don't even care. But you don't like the sizzle of bacon in the morning. Nope.
Well, we've got the ladder mounted to the roof, and we're kind of trying to figure out how to do this. What we want to do is try to go across the roof the least amount of times. But because we have to put foam in, we really can't put the sheeting on right now. So we're thinking we'll probably have to go back across the roof a second time, putting sheeting on. We kind of have a strategy for that. But what we're going to try to accomplish today is the lag screws, spline screws, foam, and furring. And I don't mean we're going to get that all done, but that's kind of the tasks in the order that we're going to try to do them. We just had a beautiful summer rain sprinkle, so now the roof is stupid slippery. The good news is the OSB is rough side up, so there's a little bit of traction. We'll need to take our time. Melissa is going to tie off on the other lifeline, and what we're thinking is we may end up kind of splitting the roof in half. Maybe she can take kind of the upper half and I'll take the lower half, and we'll just trade off tasks. So that's the only way we can think of doing it without running all over the top of each other, or bringing a second ladder up here. And the reason we don't have a second ladder to bring up here is she has to use the ladder to get on the roof because I'm in the forklift and there's nobody to run the forklift. So let's kind of see how today goes. I'm a little nervous just working on this steep pitch of a roof. And of course, we're always very concerned about our safety and, using common sense and good logic. Right now, we're actually probably in the most vulnerable position, which is why it's so important to get the lag screws put in, because the way our lifelines are right now, they get tangled up in the hardware. And so in practicality, in practicum, in reality, our lifelines are too long because they've got to go out and around all the hardware to get to us. Otherwise, you're like literally trying to whip this really heavy rope over hardware. Long story short, it'll be great when we can get these screws put in and then we can use our lifelines properly. We gave how to fasten the furring a bit of thought, and because it simply is that, a furring strip, we think we can just staple it into place, and then ultimately it and the sheeting will get attached to the roof with proper exterior grade wood screws through the face of the sheeting. And so really this is just about simplifying the installation of the furring. So we picked up some 1¼ inch crown staples. We've got a nice crown stapler and a compressor. So we think that'll probably be the fastest, most efficient way to get this stuff attached to the roof. If I remember, I'll check in later and share with you the outcome of the foam test that I did the other day between the wind lock and this inner foam. The inner foam definitely had a little bit more expansion, just a hair, maybe 20%, maybe a little less than 20%. So we're going to use this today to fill these voids on the roof as we go. We do have a couple of different guns. This is the one that they provided, the SIP company did. It's part of the Great Stuff line. But we also have another gun, here it is, that came with our SIPs. And I like this one because the barrel is super narrow, and the hole that we drilled in the SIPs is only, I think, 5/8 or 3/4. So I'm not sure that this barrel will fit deep enough into the SIP. And I think the drill bit that we used was only 6 inches long. So in theory, if everything goes the way it should, this should get all the way into the void that we created during panel prep, and we should be able to inject foam. The real challenge is figuring out how much foam. Too much and we risk, I guess, some issues, maybe buckling. It's not going to be that big of a deal, I don't think. But I think the main issue is overfilling it with foam. We're trying to find that sweet spot in seconds. Pull the trigger, count to 3, and then check it. These foams seem to stop expanding after about 15 minutes or so. Seems to be when they're about full expansion. So what we'll do is we'll fill a few holes with different intervals. We'll try maybe 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, something like that. And then wait about 20 minutes, come back and see how much foam is sticking out of that hole. And that should tell us roughly how much time we should be injecting in each one. One perk to a little bit cooler morning is I don't see all the hornets, yellow jackets, and wasps out yet. So they're definitely a little bit more dormant today. Yesterday, if you just looked across our property, it looks like Chicago. Are you serious right now? Oh my gosh. Alyssa! Bugaboo, what are you doing in there? Bugaboo, are you serious, dude? Alyssa, what are you doing in there? How did you get in there? How? What in the Oh my gosh, guys. So every night when we go inside, Bugaboo literally shows up out of nowhere and starts crawling all over the forklift. I'm thinking he figured out how the heck to get inside the boom. What do you do now? You can't retract the boom because there's a cat in there. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. I think he's going back down. What in the world? Oh my gosh, he came out the bottom. No way. I guess we should have been checking this for a cat before we boomed up this morning. There he is. Could you guys see him? He's clear down there he's on the back of the forklift.
Hey.
You made it to the top.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear something absolutely insane?
I don't know.
But it won't shock you.
My ladder fell down?
Bugaboo just stuck his head out that hole.
Which hole?
Right here. At the top of the boom. I'm not even kidding. He got in the boom at the bottom of the forklift. He walked all the way up here. He stuck his head out that hole. And then he walked back down the boom, got out, and walked down the forklift.
Why would he do that?
Right? I'm not even kidding. This cat may have 9 lives left. He's dodged a lot of bullets.
Oh my gosh.
My gosh. So I'll probably bring an impact up.
Okay.
And then I'll probably do a foam gun test down here just to try to get the timing. Actually, what would probably be really good is to do chalk lines while we're waiting for the foam. So I'll get you an impact if you want to do these lags, and then we'll do the foam test, and while we're doing that, we can snap chalk lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, do you want to come down here and get this and go up?
And I could probably go to, yeah, about here.
That's fine.
Okay. It's going smooth, guys. It's going smooth. Except Jesse's at like 25 seconds on the foam, which seems like a very long time. So I'm gonna check in the loft and see if it's blowing out on the inside somewhere. I found it, Jesse. It's not bad. It's probably a few seconds of foam out of one hole. It's where we put the eye bolt. Aside from that, there's no visible foam. Wow, look at that stuff, guys. How about that?
going fairly well. We are slowly getting a system, but the thing that's got us kind of confused at the moment is foaming. We used, I think, 5 cans of foam on approximately 6 feet of panel. And if you recall, we made that chase where we're foaming in, and we have foaming holes about every 12 inches or so. It's just confusing because Shelter told us that you want to find kind of that secret sweet spot I mentioned earlier. And I tried 6 seconds, 8 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Holy cow. I mean, 30 seconds of foam out of one of these cans when it's brand new is a lot of foam. So my panic was that it's got to be going somewhere, so I wondered if maybe we were destroying the inside of the house. And Alyssa's gone down several times and looked, and everything's fine. It's not going inside anywhere. It's not hurting the sheetrock. It's a mystery. So weird. I know this stuff expands, and when we plug that hole with the gun, it really is forced to just go out. So I guess there's a side of me that thinks that we're probably getting a pretty good seal. Alyssa did remind me, and I kind of realized that these are 12-inch panels. And if we have any gap, which I know we do, between the panels, because there's no way that they're just butted tight on the inside. If there's any gap at all, that's 12 inches of gap. And the linear footage starts to add up pretty quick when there's a 12-inch thick panel. So we're still trying to figure that out. And I suppose probably about the time we get the roof done, we'll have come up with a system so we're not wasting foam. We are getting the holes to the point where the foam pops out, something along those lines, but it's not consistent. Our thinking was that if we started foaming from one end and we kind of filled that end up where it's capped into the lumber spline and then kind of started working our way progressively down here, you know, it kind of creates this seal that the foam can't go that way. It's got to come this direction. So I guess what I'm trying to say is we're still trying to figure the foam out. We're foam rookies. So you said we have 6 more cans of foam?
That's what it looks like. That's all I could find.
Okay, we have 3 up here, so we have 9 total.
How many have we gone through?
A lot. Why don't you run around and count what's on the ground? And let's see where we're at. We're probably close to 1/3 of the way done with the roof. So that'll kind of give us a count for how much foam. Yeah, let me see how much foam. I think it'll take another can to do what's right here. So let's count the cans we've used plus 1. That's a 1/6 of this roof, not including the walls and the roof peak. So pretty sure we should just go down to like Edward Jones right now and invest in foam stock, because I'm pretty sure our foam bill is probably going to be like 1/3 of our crane bill. And then we should stop at the store and get some ramen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like we've gone through 6 and we have 6 left.
Feels like we've gone through 9. There's 2 right there.
Oh,
3,
crap.
4, 5, 6,
Hold on. 7, 8, 9. You're right.
I would say approximately 1/3 of the roof is about 10-ish things.
They're $20 a bottle.
That means that foaming this roof is going to cost us $1,200.
Jesse says foaming this roof at this rate will cost us $1,200.
How is that even possible?
And that's just for the roof panels. That does not include foaming in the top of the roof where panels meet. And that doesn't include the walls. So yeah, we'll go stock up on ramen tomorrow.
Yeah, we may have to recalculate or find if we can buy it by cases or something.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we were going to use this much, so.
I do know we'll have one heck of an insulated roof in theory.
Come here, Mr. Gremlins. Well, we made really good progress for our first day. I think we're gonna put on one more furring strip, and then we probably will move our ladder one more time, and that'll put us at the halfway mark on half the roof. We have some town errands we've got to get done today, and I think we're gonna run out of foam here pretty quick. I am learning two things. One, I don't know that I shook one of these foam cans enough. It doesn't seem to be curing as fast as the other stuff. So, note to Jesse, shake the cans better. And the other thing is, foaming in front of the ladder sucks. We've learned that you don't want to foam in front of the ladder because your lifeline and, well, pretty much everything gets dragged through the foam. And now everything we own is completely covered in polyurethane foam.
Bugaboo's not covered yet.
Bugaboo's not covered, neither's the RV. Oh, the number one time suck today. Collated screw gun.
Keeps jamming.
Keeps jamming. I don't know if it's related to the bit condition, because the bit we have is shot. I put the file to it yesterday and nursed it.
Tomorrow, but they're not here today.
Yeah, we got more on the way. They should be here tomorrow. I nursed it a little bit and got it working. It's working pretty good, but when it misfires, it actually jams into the jaws, and it's like just a nightmare. We're slowly getting a method of getting it straightened out. But that seems like it's probably taken longer than a lot of other things. We probably spent an hour unjamming the collated screw gun. Even with that, it's still faster than doing all these screws by hand, so. Hey, hold on. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
All done?
Yeah, ready to come down to earth.
Oh yeah. Freaking hungry.
This is about what every tool we used today looks like. I don't even know what to do. What are we going to do? Chip this stuff off for a month after we get done with this project? We're pretty good about keeping our tools clean and taking care of tools, but what do you do when you're crawling in a pit of foam? We need to put a porta potty on the roof. That, or I can just Sailor Jerry it off the eave. This is also covered in foam.
Am I?
Hope you didn't like those pants.
I did. They're with my clean pants.
Oh, not anymore. They've been initiated. Well, should we head to town? Stock up on foam, get milk for ice cream. What else are we doing? Pizza. What? Did you hear that?
I am pretty hungry.
I thought I heard somebody say pizza. I think they want us to eat pizza. That's what I heard. Hey, I'll tell you what, if I'm gonna get foamy butt, I want to get foamy butt with you.
I know, right? Yeah. And as with anything, over the next coming days, we'll make more and more progress.
Well, we worked a lot of the kinks out today and kind of got a
Yeah.
system. I'm still not sure what to do about the foam. I feel like I learned a lot today about what not to do, but here in a second we'll get it figured out.
shocked at how annoying the harness is. Very
Yeah.
shocked. I feel like it's always like falling
It's
down.
always in your
and-
way. It's always pulling at your back. It's always tangled around your foot, and it's always going the wrong direction.
I humped my way to the very end to get my water, and my rope was too short, and the water was like just out of my reach, and I tried to like get it with my toe. Nope. So I had to hump all the way back, lengthen
Yeah.
my rope all the way forward.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's they're wise to have.
Yeah, it's just a fail-safe, right?
So-
it's what happens when everything else goes wrong. It's
Yep.
just what it is. But I think, if, in all fairness, you add an element of risk when
You
you wear a
do.
harness. I can't tell you how many times it was wrapped around my ankle
Oh,
today,
yeah.
or caught in the ladder, or hooked on itself, or stuck on a lag screw. But if I fall,
You'll
that height-
you'll probably hurt less.
I'm going to be sad, but I'm not going to be dead.
Yeah, that's very true.
Well,
Thanks for joining us,
Thanks
guys.
for joining us, guys. We're kind of tired. We put in 8 hours today.
I'm
already.
I'm not that tired, but very hungry.
Yeah.
I think we're just gonna try this out, getting up much earlier and
Yeah.
ending earlier.
Yep.
But at least burnout is when you get up really stinking early and then you work until long past
Yep.
you should be working, like 9 o'clock at night.
It's the same 8 hours.
Again and again. Like
Yeah.
you can't do that. So Yeah, work, if you want to work 8 hours a day, just pick which 8 hours you work, but there are benefits, you know, to working earlier or later. Pros and cons, really.
We just have to go to bed earlier, that's all.
I don't like going to bed early.
I know. Is this the tape measure that took the death drop?
I think that one's Jeff's.
Jeff, your tape measure, A, it's still here, and B, it just fell like 50 feet. Still works, buddy.
Still works. And it's actually better
Still
than
works.
the others that didn't fall because it's not smothered in foam.
Yeah, this one's not covered in foam, so unfortunately, Jeff, we're just going to keep using this. Okay, thanks.